Big Drive Energy Monday Winners Circle edition. We've got Bachelor Party Talk. It was a hell of a weekend. We're going to talk about the Rocket Mortgage Classic, the crazy finish. And then we've also got Dick Bland, winning back-to-back Senior Tour majors. Pretty impressive stuff from him. All that and much more, finishing it up with, of course, our Monday edition of Mulligan of the Week. All right, let's tee it up. What a weekend. Golf, drinking, having a good time with the boys.
Just broing down
for 3.5 straight days.
It always is tough the last day. Like, part of you wants to be home. You're still enjoying it. We were at a bachelor party. If you didn't listen to the last episode, we were up in Breckenridge. So we played Breck Golf Club Thursday and Keystone Saturday. And both courses were awesome. I probably would prefer Breck a little bit. I don't know how you felt. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I thought both courses were in their own way a little. Like, Breck was definitely a little better condition. I hit the ball a little better at Keystone. that part makes you feel like you're a little more indebted to that course. You're a little more fan favorite of it.
You'll never dislike a course you play well at.
Yeah, just like you'll never like a course you play bad at.
Correct.
I've never heard anybody say, I love that course. I've never played well there, but I absolutely love it.
Well, so here's a question. Do you think you like a course because you play well, or do you play well because you like the course?
I think it starts with...
That's a chicken and egg scenario.
It is. I think it starts with you playing well there. Because I think our level of golf, like we've played a fair amount of courses. But
if you ever look at a hole and just hate it, you're not going to play it well.
Yeah, but I really do think it comes down to you going to a course because your buddies asked you or you found a tee time, however it ends up working out. You hit a couple of good shots, you get in a rhythm, you continue on, everything feels great. Sometimes the game does feel easy. We know golf is not easy at all, but sometimes the game really does feel easy. You feel like I just hit it in the fairway, hit it up near the green or on the green, get up and down or make 2-putt for par, maybe make a few birdies. Like sometimes you just get in a rhythm and it feels good. And I think then you're like, wow, this course is really fun.
Place.
Yeah, because you can very easily get off of liking a course after 2 to 3 holes.
Like, you're like, well, that hole fucking sucked because I made double bogey.
Yeah, the first tee at Keystone Ranch is an incredible downhill par 5. But if I would have pulled one left in the trees or hit one right in the trees, I would have been like, all right. And then you go to 2. A lot of those mountain courses, it's really tough to gauge.
Dude, the ball was flying.
Sight lines. Yeah.
The ball was going crazy long. Like, especially me coming back from New Jersey to going straight to that. I was probably hitting my irons 20 to 30 yards further. It was bananas. Like, I was hitting 9-iron at sea level. I hit 9-iron like $140. I was hitting like 170 here, maybe longer.
Yeah, it was honestly, I felt like, and this isn't physically possible, but maybe it is because we didn't hit a lot. We played scrambles. So just some background for all of you out there. Our buddies we're the best 2 players in the group by a fairly wide margin, I'd say.
We've got some buddies that are like single digits.
Yeah, we've got a couple buddies, single digits, a couple guys that are golfers, but bogey
Very
golfers.
casual.
Like, there's a difference between being a non-golfer and being able to make a bogey here and there, and guys that like play, and if they were to play their own ball, they're not good, but they're going to make bogey on almost every single hole or double bogey. They hit it in a general area. But those mountain courses are 10 times harder for guys like them.
Yeah.
And then so
many balls were lost. Holy shit.
So we played a scramble both days, and it was I think you beat me, your team beat my team the first day, shooting 10 under in 17 holes. Like, we shot 8 under in 18 holes, but we let you have, it started both days. It started raining because we played 2 o'clock, a little twilight action.
Yeah. And it was basically 2 of us because our third player had never played. It was like his first time ever on a golf course. So he hit shots, but we did not take any of his. We did there's only 3 of us, so he did alternate an extra shot here or there if we needed it. But yeah, ultimately we played pretty damn good for a 2-person scramble to shoot 10 under. We played pretty damn good. We made some putts, and making putts just is the great equalizer. Like, we made no putts. It was me and Ryder Thursday. We shot 10 under between the 2 of us. Saturday, there was 4 of us, although Austin and Sam really did not contribute much except for being
dead weight, I believe is what you called them.
I did call them dead weight.
Straight to their face.
Yeah. Well, they were Austin wasn't annoying me. Sam was annoying me a little bit. Just because they loved to chirp me, and I was not. I was in the come down day where we had just 2 really like fun, long, crazy nights, and then I was just like, I wasn't in the mood to hear a bunch of bullshit. And that Sam was just firing on all cylinders, just talking shit to me right off the bat. I'm like, bro, I'm your teammate. I'm trying to help you here because you fucking suck. So I literally said to him, I was like, somebody's got to hit the golf shots, because Sam was like, why are you being such a stick in the mud? And I probably was, and I could have probably acted a little less like annoyed, but I was just trying to actually play a little golf and not hit the ball like shit. And he's like chirping me, and they're just being all crazy. So there's definitely a fine line, I would say, where it's like, don't act like a 10-year-old, but you can have fun, but don't go like off. Like, he ran his cart into our cart and shit. I'm like, and I looked at him, I'm like, are you fucking 8 years old, dude? Like, if you're a 30-year-old man running your golf cart into your playing partners, grow the fuck up. Like, you've either hit the sauce too hard, or you have no idea what you're doing, or you need to just act your age. Because I was like, bro, let's cut the shit. Like, I'm all for having a good time, but you're acting like a fucking 10-year-old out here.
Yeah, there was some underage acting.
Well, you get a group of dudes together, they're all going to act like teenagers again, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was really hoping it was nice, because the first course, Breckenridge, we paid for up front, so all the guys just had to pay me back for getting it. So the nice part about that was when we got there, they had everything set up. They had our names on our carts or our times. They had range balls on our carts for us, everything ready to roll. And just a little tip for you guys out there, for those of us that used to be behind the counter and now in front of the counter, tell them it's a wedding party, not a bachelor party, when you're booking the bachelor party tee times, because I did that and they didn't treat us a certain way. You know, if you're a bachelor party, like, their eyes on you the whole time. I don't know why it's so different. I guess maybe because a wedding party, the general population thinks, okay, they're getting married this weekend.
Yeah.
Like, the groom's out here probably, like, they're not going to be total idiots. Bachelor party, completely different.
It's scenario. A free for all. Yeah.
So then when we got to Keystone on Saturday, and everybody had to check in and pay individually, some of the comments I heard, I was just like, oh, I want to get out of here. It was kind of a little bit of a shit show, because they didn't really they had our tee times booked in, but they didn't have the rate that the guy had emailed me. So it's just a miscommunication or lack of communication between the group director and the actual pro shop people.
Yeah.
But so they're asking me what the rate is, and so I'm trying to find my email from the guy. My phone gets completely logged out of all my Gmails, so I'm sitting there fucking my phone at the counter,
and there's like 15 of us standing in the pro shop.
Yep,
everybody's making out of pocket comments, fucking
grabbing shirts, buying stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, dudes, can we just act like we're not gonna be the craziest fucking group they've had all summer, like in the pro shop?
100%. And so I finally got the email, and then they had to individually change the rates, and then I was that guy at the counter, because I basically was like, so I'm actually comped because I'm PGA, and I had to show them that part of the email. And then I was like, but I am going to pay for 2 other people. It was like, oh, it was bad.
Yeah. I mean, you just deal with that in a pro shop. Like, that's just what you go through. We went through it. So, but as long as you're respectful in a pro shop and you aren't an asshole, it's okay to not know everything, but just be respectful and understanding that the other person has dealt with 250 of you that day and doesn't have all the time in the world to deal with one person. Like, it's a quantity thing. Like, let's keep this fucking show on the road here. So I think that was more of the issue. As you can tell, my voice is also going a little bit. So that's not great for a podcast, I feel. I feel a little, not nasally, just my throat's a little hoarse, like it's going. So, but overall, fantastic weekend. I think I had a blast. I think you had a blast. I think everybody had a good time. So
yeah, and I'm a little just out of it today. I can't decide if that's because of the whole weekend and just like being from Thursday on. I did finish my 30 Coors Lights, which we'll get into talking about Coors Light here in about 20-ish minutes. But
we played the Beer Olympics.
Yeah,
we didn't finish them, but we started them.
Yeah, that was like, that's one of those things too where you always have the intentions of doing something on a bachelor party. And, we actually played both 18-hole rounds, unlike my bachelor party where we called out of the second round and couldn't make it to the course. Left the cars at the golf course the first night for the rest of the trip, picked them up on the way to the airport. It was quite the treat. But we actually made it to both rounds of golf, played 18 holes both days, fairly put together group of guys.
We got back and forth in one piece.
For 36 holes.
We had we had 3 designated drivers for each of those rounds.
Yeah, but the Beer Olympics did not go well.
No.
It went about as well as a match under a wet blanket.
I mean, what did we drink? Like 8 cases of Coors Lights?
Yeah, I think we bought, no joke, 9 cases, and we were out by Friday. We didn't even make it to Saturday. Get more. We had to go get more on Saturday.
But you and I killed it in Flip Cup. I will say we did pretty well in Flip Cup. I lost some money at beer pong. I caught a couple of hot shooters, and I was a little drunk, and you start running your mouth. You're like, fuck you, double or nothing.
You don't have to be drunk to start running your mouth.
I do. It helps a little bit. And no, I do run my mouth a little anyways, but then I was getting annoyed because Josh just would not stop making shots. Like he would make 3 or 4 cups every time he had the ball. I'm like, what is this dude fucking Kobe? Like he just won't miss a shot. So I did get a little annoyed. I lost some money on the beer pong table, but all's fair in love and war.
Yeah, we played beer pong together, and I did have one round where I made 9 of the 10 cups, but we won.
You were hot.
That's all that mattered.
I was gonna say you caught fire a couple times. Like it wasn't like it took forever and I made nothing. But it was like one of those days on the golf course, you catching a lot of lips, not getting shit to drop. So it wasn't my day. The night before I played pretty well, but then you and I did pretty well at Flip Cup. Who would you say is a better chugger out of me or you?
I generally think I could chug a beer faster than you, probably.
I would say so. Like the carbonation really gets to me. Like I look like I should be able to chug beers like it's my actual occupation. But I can chug stuff that's not carbonated very fast. Like I'm very good at that, but the carbonation factor really just something about it makes me so full that I just can't down it all in one.
Yeah, we and then I don't even remember what we did after that, to be honest. I think I might have went to bed. Like 4 in the afternoon. I think I just Irish goodbye'd the whole crew. I went up to my room because we made it out to the bar that night at about 6:37.
Yeah, I came and woke you up, so you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
He was just, I think you were borderline sleep, like you were like talking in your sleep when I came up and woke you up. But yeah, Spencer was the guy in bed. You passed out on the couch the next night. I sent some videos to your wife on Snapchat.
Oh, good. That's great. Yeah, I just couldn't hang anymore. I'm clearly old, and our friends.
You're a year older than me.
Well,
you're a dad.
Yeah, I just can't hang. But I was the first one up every morning. I was up 5:30, 6 o'clock every morning. I made everybody breakfast the first morning. I had breakfast burritos ready. Well, I didn't make the actual burritos, but I made the sausage, made the eggs, made the potatoes. Whole rigmarole before I knew. I was lonely. I was like, why is no one else waking up? This sucks. I felt so. Because most of a good part of our friends, even though some of them have young kids, they sleep like lunatics.
Like fucking Austin. He could sleep till fucking noon every day if he wanted to.
At the same time, these guys didn't go to bed till 3 in the morning. I was asleep crisp 10:30.
3 was early. There was multiple that didn't go to bed till 5 in the morning.
There was one night, I think it was Friday night. I woke up 3 different times to get up and get water before any of them went to bed. That's how late they went to bed and how early I went to bed. They were up talking till 5 a.m. I was up 20 minutes later for the day.
Yeah. See, I'm the guy in the middle. I don't go to bed because there's also nothing worse than having FOMO. You're laying in bed and you hear a big laugh, a big group of guys laughing and yucking it up. You're like, fuck, what am I missing out on? So there's definitely that FOMO of don't want to miss any of this. But then the next day, like Friday and Saturday night, or I'm sorry, Thursday and Friday night, I probably stayed up till like 3 a.m. So probably about as late as anyone because I didn't want to miss anything. But then Saturday night, I went to bed at like midnight. I was like, I'm good. And I slept till 8 because you just reach a point where you're just not even fun. And I probably wasn't that much fun to be around during the second round of golf, possibly because of my playing partners, possibly because of myself. But there just gets to a point where you're like, I need to sleep. Like I cannot physically keep going.
Yeah.
And some people are built different. Like a few of our buddies.
There's other things that help you not sleep. But the second that I was getting the tired train running over me, I couldn't stop it. Every night, each of the 3 nights that happened.
You fell asleep mid UFC fight,
which is crazy because I normally have FOMO like crazy.
Yeah,
like, I'm normally like I was so excited
do
for
a
this
lot
trip.
of shit just so you don't have FOMO.
Correct.
Not because you don't necessarily want to do it, but because you don't want to not do it.
But
while everyone else is
sleep wasn't allowing me to do that.
I get it.
But the great part was like I've had a few people ask me today back in the office like, oh, how do you feel? And I feel fine. I felt fine all Sunday yesterday. Had no drinks yesterday. I'm going to stay sober for probably the rest of the week, at least until Thursday. Well, Thursday's 4th of July, so probably not past Thursday. But Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is a pretty good.
Summer's just never a good time to be sober.
No, but the easiest way to stay sober, Lucy nicotine pouches. That is the easiest way I stay sober because I've always got one of these in my mouth. Lucy is one of our newest partners. They are always 100% pure tobacco and nicotine, 100% pure nicotine and tobacco free.
Correct.
Yes, that's what I meant to say. And the best part is you can order these online, set up a recurring subscription like I've got, and they're always come to your door when you need them. You don't have to worry about going to the gas station all the time. I'm rocking the wintergreen right now, which is kind of a change because I'm not a big fan of the wintergreen whatevers we used to use. Now I'm into the Lucy's, and the wintergreen is my favorite. I finally did try the breakers. I've got the apple ice breakers. Have you tried one of them yet?
You gave me one of your breakers.
Yeah, they are intense.
They make your mouth feel so fresh afterwards. Honestly, it's borderline. It's kind of best of both worlds because if you're like with your girlfriend or whatever, and you throw one in, it's like a Altoid and nicotine all in one. It just freshens you up. Like you get this burst of this fresh like peppermint. And the wintergreen is not super like wintergreen, like gross, like tobacco wintergreen. It's like a fresh wintergreen. So I will say, because I tried your wintergreen breaker and it was like super fresh and like vibrant and it just like made you pop. It almost like woke you up a little bit. You're like, when you chew gum and then drink water, like your mouth feels that coolness.
Yeah. That's
how it felt when I tried the breaker. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, the breaker's incredible. They're going to take me a little while to get used to just because they are pretty intense. But I think the idea of like putting something in and then instead of wanting to switch it after 15 minutes, you just like let that breaker pop out, let it move its way through your upper lip is crazy. I still will say that, but let it move its way through your gums.
The upper deck's if you're trying to have something hit different.
Yeah, and then you're
really trying to feel something.
You've got that double hit of nicotine. So level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. Go to lucy.co/BDE and use promo code BDE to get 20% off your first order. Lucy also offers free shipping and has 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. Lucy.co, use code BDE and get 20% off. As always, free shipping. Here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Also want to tell you about our friends over at Bet365, and we're going to get into unfortunate situation this weekend with Akshay Bhatia and Cameron Young, but we do all of our golf betting through Bet365. We have our Big Bet Energy card every single week where we give you a couple of winners or losers, but we do all that through the Bet365 app. Use that code ALLCITY in all caps when you sign up, and you get to choose between two offers of a first bet safety net of $1,000 or betting $5, getting $150 in bonus bets when you sign up with that code. The Each Way for golf makes it super easy to bet. You place a unit on whatever your player you want. They double it, and then they put 1 unit on them to win at certain odds, and then 1 unit for them to top 3, 5, 10, 12, whatever you choose, at a different set of odds. This week, I had Cam Young and Akshay Bhatia. Unfortunately, they did not win. Akshay 3-putted the last hole. We'll get into that in a second. But I still got 2 guys in the top 12, and both of those paid me all my units back that I had bet. So I feel pretty good about that, including your 3 turds, but that's okay. Also, Ryan Fox on the blacklist forever. I'm never doing that again. I thought it was a good idea, and it wasn't. But we do all our betting through Bet365. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you're someone who knows a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. That's code ALLCITY when you sign up. Akshay Bhatia, Cameron Young.
He laid a big hawk to on the 18th green.
I'm
Disgusting.
I'm disgusted, but I just felt like it was coming.
Well, yeah,
I felt alone. I felt sad. I felt.
How do you think he felt? We did have somebody on Twitter that I tweeted that it was disgusting. It was his first 3-putt of the week, and he goes, "How do you think he feels?" I'm like, "No shit. It doesn't." People are just so funny on social media. Like, can I not feel bad because he feels bad? Like, what the fuck? I don't get people. He's like,
he feels bad enough, so I'm not allowed to.
Yeah, exactly. It just blew my mind. I'm like, yeah, we can also be annoyed at the fact that he didn't win because it was his tournament to lose. Cam Davis got a real unfortunate break on 14. I think it was the par 5. Lands it on the green and 2 on the par 5. It rolls back into the water. So that was a tough break for him. But then he somehow gets it back to 18 under. He birdies the the last par 5, I think 17. And Akshay didn't birdie the par 5. He was like 5 yards off the front of the green in 2. And then he also parred both par 5s on the back 9, and then he 3-whacks 18. And I actually saw a tweet that was pretty interesting. Why? And this is an amateur thought process of always having to get a putt to or pass the hole. But in a case where you can legitimately win the tournament if you make the putt and you don't get it to the hole, I feel like that's a pretty big fuck up. Like,
well, not only not getting it to the hole, but not getting it to the hole so far that you're opening up the world for
not
3
getting
putts.
it anywhere near the hole. Yeah.
I do that plenty. I open up myself to a 3-putt a lot of times by either not getting it to the hole or hitting it 10 feet past. This is a PGA Tour player that's won this year already while we've had him, 40-1. He was one of the favorites.
Was it Valero?
Yeah, I did see before the week started, and this is always Vegas conspiracy betting. Akshay had the biggest handle going into the week at almost 10% of the bets.
Oh my God.
So you think something,
Vegas gets bailed out again.
Maybe Aaron Rise over there fucking stomping around in his line.
Real quick, we got to talk about Aaron Rise because he did not win. But I think he actually defied all ball flight laws, hitting that driver off the deck on the 14th hole from like 287 into the wind, draws it around the corner, skirts the edge of the lake, and runs it up to like 20 feet. And I can't even envision that shot, mostly because for those of you who are unfamiliar, if you've never hit driver off the deck, it is borderline impossible to draw it. If you're working it right to left, if you're a righty, or left to right, if you're a lefty, because you have to swing from the inside, and it is so hard to swing from the inside and also make good contact. Like, you're generally trying to swing from the inside, you're going to drop kick it. So the fact he got it airborne, and he had a driver off the deck on Saturday that had an apex of like over 100 feet. Like, this dude is built different with driver off the deck. So I just had to give him a quick shout out, although he's a pretty boring watch, if we're being honest. There's nothing really exciting about his game. It's just kind of a boring, bore me to death type of hit greens, make some putts, hit fairways type of game. But then we had another guy in contention that is the exact opposite of that, and that's Cameron Young, because he had the wildest Sunday out of everybody, breaks his driver. Then he proceeds the next hole to hit this par 5 and 2, 3-wood from like 580 into the wind. And then he didn't 3-whack it. He ends up not making birdie. Or maybe he did 3-whack. Yeah, he did 3-whack it. And then
3-wood, putter. What a hole.
He had more putts on that hole than he had 3-woods from 580 yards. But dude, this guy for me is okay. So, and we'll get into it, but we saw a tweet that was like, have you ever seen a player better at golf that you enjoy watching less? Or just that looks like he's having a worse time than Cameron Young? But dude, the Cameron Young's game is unlike anything I've ever seen because he hits it so good. He hits it further than like maybe we've ever seen on tour consistently. And his ball striking is near the top of every week's field. If you look at his strokes gained, he is, I think, so he's top 10 in driving. He's like top 50 in approach, and then he's like 150th in putting. So it's basically almost all of his putting, but then he puts so much stress on his tee to green game that he eventually, he gets frustrated if he misses a fairway, like where he snapped his driver. It wasn't even intentional, but I think this guy is going to get to the point where if he doesn't win soon, I really see it as like a kind of a win or go home type of scenario where if he doesn't win this season, I think he could fall off. Like, I think it could just grind on him so hard that he eventually is like, I'm fucking done doing this, man. Like, I'm done hitting it good every single week and finishing. I mean, luckily, 5th place pays pretty fucking good out on the PGA Tour, so maybe he won't. But it just feels like it's such a mental grind for him at this point where he puts himself in contention week after week and he still can't get it done. And he contends in like elevated events, signature events, whatever the fuck they're called. He competes in those, and then he competes in these lower level, non-stacked field events, and he can't win. He can't beat anyone. He can't win. He can beat a lot of people, but he can't win any of these events. Like, I think probably because he got right out on tour when he started. Like, I don't know how quickly he advanced. I legitimately don't think he's ever had like a professional win. Like, I don't know if he knows how to win. Can't win the big one.
Yeah, and I think the couple things that are maddening about him in general is he hits the ball further than just about everyone, right? And so we talked about that. He's 27 years old, so still relatively young. I mean, remember Wyndham Clark, I don't think won until he was 27.
29, 28.
Yeah, something like that.
Ballpark.
So it's not like it's over for him, but when you see somebody that's so clearly more talented hitting the ball, it shocks you that they can't win and that just goes to show you how hard it is to win on the PGA Tour because he's like diet great value Scotty Scheffler because he hits the ball that good and just doesn't putt it well. Just never puts it well and never wins. And I feel like I am somewhat in this boat where
you actually mentioned it yesterday during the round. You're like, Cam Young is my kind of dude. Like, hits it a long fucking way, puts it like shit. You're like, I love his sweater vest. He looks so disinterested. He hates himself. You guys are like the same. And you got to think that like it's mentally wearing on him too, hearing the outside noise about him not being able to win. Like, we've seen it in other sports, guys in the NBA like James Harden. There's dudes that if you don't eventually win, you go almost in the other. It's unfortunate because you being great and having all this talent puts you in the echelon of people having expectations of you. Yeah. Like, if you're never that good, nobody gives a fuck. If you're the 10th man on the bench, nobody's like, why isn't Colin Gillespie won a championship yet? Why isn't so-and-so? That was just sorry for the stray, Colin. That wasn't on you. But there's certain guys that you don't expect to do anything, but then you watch Cameron Young hit the ball and you're like, this dude is outdriving everyone else with 3-wood. And then you look at Cam Davis who won, and he does nothing special. Like, he's the most like blah game to me. I just don't. It's not really an interesting, watch by any means. And then you watch this Cameron Young dude who's just an electric factory, hitting gap wedge from 165 yesterday. That is one other thing I will say about Cam Young's game. I think he needs to learn how to back off of some shots and not hit these wedges. Like, he legit hit gap wedge from 165, and then he lands it, 5 paces short of the hole, but then it rips 25 feet back. And it's like, dude, you could have just hit a knockdown pitching wedge in there, control the spin, land it pin high or whatever, land it a little short of pin high, let it roll out. So I think he needs to add that into his game because I really, me being the armchair quarterback here, he only has one gear. And he needs to develop that other gear, in my opinion, to really take his game to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Looking at it from the Rocket Mortgage Classic, do you think anybody cares or anybody's freaking out that Davis Thompson didn't win? He got second. He's got 3 top 10s this year. Cam Young's got 5. Davis Thompson 70th in the official world golf ranking. Cam Young's 22nd.
If
but,
you would have told me
like,
there was a player on tour named Davis Thompson, I would have told you you're wrong.
right, exactly.
Like, I'm like Stephen A. Smith right now. Like, who is he?
100%.
Every time I look at the PGA Tour leaderboard, I'm like, is this guy on tour? Do you have a sponsor's exemption this week? Or
But yeah,
what?
like, do you think anybody other than his close family was beat up or shocked that Aaron Rye didn't hold on yesterday? No, but Cam Young has that. He's still, I think he's like plus 1,500 or less in almost every tournament he plays and never won. At some point when he wins, it's going to be not even worth it to bet on him. Like this week I had him. I thought maybe I'd get it. Snaps his driver, never makes any birdies coming in. And that was another point that I wanted to make. Just the Rocket Mortgage Classic is generally a semi-birdie fest. I mean, 18 under, pretty good. This week, John Deere Classic will be 10 times worse. It'll be just birdies after birdies. But it is funny to look at how intense and how much pressure gets to guys on
Sundays.
The final day. Like
I was thinking the same thing.
Cam Davis 2 under, Davis Thompson, my guy here apparently 4 under. Minwoo Lee was 3 under and chipped in 3 times, so he wasn't hitting the ball that great. Akshay Bhatia ended up even. These guys were 7, 8 under the first day of this tournament.
Cam Young shot over par.
Yeah.
He shot 1 over on Sunday.
And so that's just even the same guys, the same golf course.
Yeah.
When pressure gets to you, you know, those guys, nobody was going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Davis Thompson shot, if he would have shot 6 under, which was a mediocre score Thursday, Friday, he wins this tournament. And out of nowhere, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, the leader was 18 under going into Sunday, correct?
Yeah,
or
17 because Akshay
So
Bhatia
you're
was
borderline
17.
averaging 6 under par the first 3 rounds, and then you shoot, you know, the conditions were not that hard. It was a little bit breezy, but it wasn't insane. I don't think the setup was that crazy. But yeah, the pressure definitely gets to these guys on Sunday. And you look at these guys, if you look at the top of that leaderboard, Akshay Bhatia has won once and Cam Young has won once. Nobody else.
Cam Davis.
I'm sorry, Cam Davis.
Are you putting that out in the universe
No,
already?
I saw somebody else calling Cam Young, or was it Cam? Sham. It was
Sham Young.
Sham Young. But no, I mean, you look at these guys, 2 of them have won 1 time. None of these guys feel comfortable at the top of this leaderboard. So it was almost like who can fuck it up the least. But I just want to give a call back because I've gotten into it with some people on our social media in the last few months. This one dude was telling me I didn't know how odds bet or like Vegas set their odds. Cameron Young is not won, and he's at the top of every single fucking odds list there is because that's how many people bet him to win. It doesn't mean he has a better chance to win. He literally hasn't won, and they continue to put him at the top of every single odds list. So when everyone's like, well, they put Rory up there because he's going to win and he can win every week. No, people just know who he is and bet on him to win. So that's why his odds are lower. These fucking idiots out here think they know what they're talking about when they're talking about odds. I know a little bit about gambling. I've been doing it for a minute. Don't try to explain odds to me. Fuck's sake.
We're not explaining odds to you, but I am going to explain to you about our great friends over at Shady Rays. There was so many Shady Rays on the course on Saturday because, well, you have your own, but you forgot yours. I loaned out 4 pairs of Shady Rays, 3 pairs, and then
and a couple of our buddies
own.
have used our discount code and bought their own.
Yeah, Shady Rays are by far the best glasses we've ever had. They're so great for the golf course. They're rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. It's a world-class product, especially the brand new Green Wolf golf glasses. I'm rocking the regular Shady Rays right now, but I've got the Green Wolves. I keep them only in my bag, polarized. They made the mountains look unreal. There was a few times where I just looked around and living and growing up in Colorado, we take it for granted for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But I can only imagine I wish I could have talked to one person from the golf course that wasn't from there, because some of the holes, then there's just like a mountaintop and it just goes 100, 200, 300 acres of nothing after a hole.
And it was so green on the mountains too. Like it seems like they've gotten a lot of rain, and you look through those polarized lenses and it just illuminates everything and it makes everything look like you're watching a movie. Like it's a picture. And I was actually talking to one of our buddies and he goes, dude, I was playing with this guy that had $350 Maui gyms on. He gave him a Shady Rays. He's like, dude, these look better through these than they do through my Maui gyms. And Shady Rays are much more affordable, and they have a deal where they replace your sunglasses if you lose them. Like, how can it get any better than that?
Yeah, you can. If you don't love them, you can exchange them for a new pair or return them for worry-free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back with personal and fast support. There's got to be a pair on there that you like if you're a sunglasses wearer. So exclusively for all of our listeners, Shady Rays giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use code AC35. That is AC35 for 35% off polarized sunglasses at shadyrays.com. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Also, Coors Light. When you need a moment to chill, drink a Coors Light. I've got a video coming out this week. I hammered 32. I actually got through 32 Coors Lights from Thursday afternoon after we got out of the car at about 2 o'clock on the golf course until hit it on Saturday. Didn't even need Sunday. I got 15 on Thursday, 14 on Friday, and then Saturday I cruised to a crisp 3.
You were actually, what night did you accidentally post it? Like you were taking videos documenting it. And
that was embarrassing.
You were a little sauced up and you posted it on your story.
Yeah, number five got posted on my Snapchat story. I was just trying to take them on Snapchat so I could put the little number down there so I could keep track, because by 14 the first day I was definitely barely keeping track myself. And I got through all 30, but yeah, one of them got posted on my Snapchat story. Somebody responded to me, one of my friends, and was like, "How's this going?" And I was like, "How's what going?" And I looked at my Snapchat story, and there it is, number 5 getting posted there.
Well, if it's Coors Light, you know it's going well.
It was going incredible.
They're going down so smooth. They're so cold. And the mountains were as blue as possible. Drinking Coors Light in the mountains feels like a biblical experience.
It is. And it's cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. When it's time for a refresh, open a Coors Light. When it's time to chill, Coors Light is the beer that I reached for 32 times this weekend. So when you want to hit reset, grab the beer that's made to chill. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. All right. Final segment, Dick Bland. Let's talk about this. How pissed are people? They have to be just annoyed that this guy, 50. How old do you think he is?
I think he's like 51 or 52, maybe 53. He's got to. Do you know what I can guarantee you? He's at least 50.
Yes,
I know for a fact.
Thank you for that.
That was the joke. He's obviously 50. You have to be 50 in order to play a senior tour event. But I mean, yeah, just between Bryson now kind of taking over the world stage of golf, winning that U.S. Open, almost winning the PGA Championship, just flying higher than probably any single golfer in the world not named Scottie Scheffler. And then you have Dick Bland coming out winning back-to-back majors on the senior tour. Is LIV Golf the breeding ground of major champions? Like, people are wondering.
Well, so he's apparently, I don't know what the reason is why he's not playing in them, but
apparently,
if you would have told me 3 years ago in 2022 or 2 years ago that there was a guy in 2 years that's winning all the senior events, fresh off like Phil Mickelson winning his PGA championship at Kiawah, I'd have been like, Phil's still cooking. And we've got Richard Bland of Cleeks GC out here winning back-to-back majors.
Well, dude, he could have. This is the beginning of a Bernhard Langer type of career where you really don't, he's got a pretty average to above average PGA Tour career, DP World Tour career, whatever. He goes to LIV, but then now he's 50. He's won, I think this is his third, I think he won a major last year as well. I think this is his third senior major title. So the guy is just boat racing senior majors like his life depends on it. And shout out Newport Country Club. That clubhouse looks insane. The golf course was also a pretty interesting setup, but even your wife this morning, we were watching the final round because they suspended play yesterday. And then we were watching it this morning because they actually went to a playoff. She was like, wow, that place is beautiful. I was like, yeah, it's a really good looking golf course. So it seemed like a great venue. The 18th hole was a 480-yard par 4 straight into the fan. And the one dude, I don't want to mispronounce his name, that he was in the playoff with. Yeah, please look that up because I don't want to fuck that up. He did not hit it near as far as Bland did. Oh, Fujita, yes.
Hiroyuki Fujita.
Hiroyuki Fujita. I'd never heard his name before, but obviously great stick if they got into a playoff. His ball speed was only 150 with the driver off of 18. Like he legitimately, he hit it in the fairway. He could not reach the green in 2 on 18. So Bland had a clear advantage because he hit it in the greenside bunker, and then he knocked it, almost holed it, hit it to like an inch. And Fajita, I don't whatever. I'm not even going to go down that road, but he had like 20 feet for par and literally whipped it out, left it inside of Bland's mark. So he almost made it, which would have been electric. But overall, for a senior tour event, I enjoyed it.
Well, and Bland was, when we were watching on Friday morning at the bachelor party, he was 6 shots out of the lead and
He
came
shot
all the way
66
back.
on Sunday. So wait, do they play 4? This is a dumb question. I should know this, but do they play 4 rounds at majors? They have to.
I think so.
Because they only play 3 rounds regularly.
Yeah, I believe they do play 4. All right, so here's some interesting stats for you. Did you just see my computer? Were you peeking? Okay. So how much did Richard Bland win?
I did see that.
Okay,
He won $800,000.
You were peeking.
I thought you were giving me other than money stats.
Okay. No, this is just strictly money. So he won $800K for winning the U.S. Senior Open.
That's a great payout.
He won $630K for winning the Senior PGA KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship.
Shout out
And
KitchenAid.
then, according to Spot Track, in 2024, he's earned a total of $3.3 million. So he's up in a almost $5.5 million season between
shit.
Live and winning 2 majors. He's won $875K for a Cleeks team payout this year, and then he's won 2.47 on his own ball.
Wow.
Last year, he won 4.2 on his own ball and won the
This dude
team
is having-
championship bonus, so $275K.
This guy's having a career resurrection. I'd venture to say he's probably made more in the last 2 years than he made in the previous decade.
Oh, easily, because like you're looking at they only have 22 and 23, but he played in the US Open and the Open Championship and made a total of 198,000 in 22-23, and he made, in just a team payout, he made 1.25 on Live in 2022 after he took the jump.
This Richard Bland dude is the problem, because this is why all the 50-some-year-olds think they should go out and play on the senior tour. But this guy's a legit good player, obviously. To shoot 13 under on that golf course, to finish, I think 5 under, or I think he shot 4 under on Sunday to get into the playoff. Pretty impressive stuff. So got to give the props to where they're due. The Live Golf Tour is owning the world of tournaments where everybody can play.
Yeah, so it looks like,
What are you sorting through?
I'm
now?
just seeing like, so it was a 4-hole playoff. Was it for tie, or do they do
I think it was 18.
aggregate?
Well, so it was an aggregate, and then they went sudden death. I think it was 3 holes aggregate, and then last hole was sudden death.
Okay.
So Blandy won it on the 4th, but it's just so perfect that his last name is literally Bland, and he is like the most boring dude, and he's on the Cleeks, which are like the most boring team of all in Live. So
Isn't that like Lee Westwood and
No, Lee Westwood's the Majestics. Cleeks is like Graham McDowell and a couple other Graham McDowell's got a little bit of personality, but just the most forgettable of the Live Tour players, which are, there's quite a few of those. So
this team's not too bad. So you've got Martin Keimer, Richard Bland, Adrian Moronk, and Kale Samuja.
never
So
a Kale
the
Samuja.
top 3, that's the Cleeks. I
Dude,
mean,
Martin Keimer hasn't won in 10 years.
well,
did
he won
Graham
the U.S.
McDowell
Open at Pinehurst 10 years ago.
10 years? Well, yes. But then did Graham McDowell get relegated, or what?
Maybe he's not part of the Cleeks.
Well, he was a part of the Cleeks. Unless I'm missing something. Wow, you just spelled his name so wrong.
Oh, I know.
Is he a free agent?
He doesn't have. Oh, Smash.
Oh, okay.
He smashed GC with a little. He was on the Cleeks in 23, but now he's on Smash. He
Look
must
at
have got
me,
traded.
dude. Everybody knows the Cleeks. Everybody knows Smash.
It Live Tulsa shirt, by the way. Had to wear it today. Blandy made it even that much better. But I just can't imagine how annoyed all the senior tour players are, and just another feather in the cap for no matter what level, whether it's PGA Tour, both major champions currently in both US in the senior and in the regular PGA are Live players.
That's what I just said earlier.
They play plenty of golf and they're doing just fine. All right, let's wrap this Monday Winner's Circle edition up with a little edition of Mulligan
of the week.
Do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I'll go for it. So this has been an ongoing thing. This is kind of a callback from months ago as well. I still haven't registered my car that I purchased like 2 months ago, and the paperwork still is not even here. And so I don't have a temporary license plate. Basically just buying a new car, because whenever you have to deal with the DMV physically, I bought a car out in New Jersey. They deal with it for you directly. You don't have to go anywhere. You at the dealership, they get all your paperwork, they send it in, they register your car. That's the way to go. Here in Colorado, you have to physically go into the DMV. So the dude,
why is it different? That's so annoying to me.
Why is there not a federal protocol?
We're under the United States of America.
Yeah.
Why does each state do like, especially when it's so
Simple
clearly
shit.
simple there for them, and then here you have to go to one DMV, they send you paperwork to another DMV, you're driving around stressed out. I mean,
it has been my literal hell. I sat there for 2 hours last Wednesday to get to the front of the line to hear that they sent my paperwork to a different DMV because they were closed for that entire week at that location for no exact reason. They just closed. Like, government agencies just shut it down. What the fuck are we doing here, dude? I was so annoyed, and I still am. And the guy's like, well, if you show up like first thing at 7 a.m., we can get you another template. I'm like, I'm driving with that template until I get this car registered. I don't give a fuck if it's 2026. I don't care what year it is. I am not sitting in line to get another temporary plate because you can't sort it out. And if somebody pulls me over, I might just go on the run. Like, I
might just get out and move.
Yeah. Just
get out and get going.
Weaving through traffic in my RAV4. But yeah, go on a high-speed chase, and they're like, he's got this thing maxed out at $120. Like, there's cop cars
shooting past you.
There's
they
cop
can't
cars
even tell
like
it's you running because you're going
me.
just the speed of traffic.
I'm almost going too slow for them. But yeah, I just putting yourself in a situation to have to deal with the government, it should always be a mulligan of the week, because it's just, you want to avoid it at all costs, because nothing happens quickly and nothing happens the way you want it to happen. That's just flat out how it goes.
Yeah, it's kind of like life. My mulligan of the week is, so I kind of alluded to this on the last pod, but I was selected to do a celeb shot at our golf tournament, and I absolutely stuck the club in the ground on a 70-yard wedge shot, hit the divot about 40 yards. The ball went 20 in front of a bunch of partners. Super embarrassing moment, but it gets worse because now it's in my head. So now every time
next time somebody asks you to do that, it's going to be
not even the celeb shot, just the wedge shot. When we went to CP on Tuesday, I had a 70-yard wedge shot. That shot leaked into my head, and I laid the sod over it. Then I go up and have a 40-yard shot and laid the sod over it again. So not only is that shot being heard around the world between my family, and I'm getting it from my other brothers-in-law, whatever, but now it's in my head every time I have like anywhere between 70 and 80 yards and I'm hitting a little wedge shot. I feel like I'm just going to stick the club in the ground and it's not going to go anywhere. So I'm dealing with those demons every time I play golf right now.
Real quick, I just want to give you some just quick swing advice. I think you're taking too long of a backswing and kind of just decelerating into it. You need to keep it a little tighter and get the speed going a little bit more through the ball. Because yeah, you're more of a tempo type guy. You take a little bit longer backswing and you kind of control the distance on the way down by your speed, but then sometimes you just decelerate into it.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. Well, we're going to decelerate out of this podcast. We appreciate y'all tuning in to our Winner's Circle Monday. We'll be back this Wednesday with a special 4th of July. It's going to be the 3rd, but we're going to do a 4th of July edition. Tell you guys about some fireworks that we've seen over the last year. Get you prepped for the American holiday, grilling out, fireworks, all that good stuff. Make sure you're following us on all the social medias at Big Drive Energy on TikTok and Twitter. Big Drive Energy Pod on Instagram. Make sure you give us a thumbs up if you're watching this on YouTube. Just hit that subscribe button and anything else you can do to help our pod out. We would appreciate it. We are Big Drive Energy, and we'll talk to you guys on Wednesday. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.